Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everyone, it's Brian Kaz here. We'll get going in just a couple seconds right here. Alrighty, hey everyone, it's Brian Kaz here, joined by my friend and business partner, Sean Casey. If you can see my PowerPoint screen and hear my voice, just say a quick yes in the chat box. And then we'll get this show on the road. All right, let's see here. Oh, okay, lots of yeses, so that's all good. Okay. All right, so without further ado, we can get this show on the road. So once again, my name's Brian Kaz. I'm joined by my friend and business partner, Sean Casey. We have another Wednesday marketing webinar for you today. And this time we have a pretty cool one that I think you guys will like, just to give you some extra ideas that you can do to make some money online, whether you have an existing business or whether you're just looking to do some stuff on the side, just like an affiliate. I think you'll get some pretty useful ideas off this, and at least one or more of the techniques I think you'll find quite neat and relevant to you. So this call will be all about 3 cool techniques that you can do to make easy money online. Now, of course, there's tons and tons and tons of other methods and techniques that we've talked about on other calls and stuff. This is just 3 specific ones I thought we would focus this call on, because I know a lot of you enjoy specific examples and techniques and all that right there. So we thought we'd do that for you. Now, as always, these calls are every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, which is right about now, where we'll have a live training and or Q&A call for our members.
Hey, Brian, speaking of the time, let me just jump in for a minute so everybody's aware, because I'm sure there are people here from the UK, from Europe, where daylight savings just changed and they noticed that, like, hey, the hour is different because the US didn't change and end daylight savings time, but will next week. So next week, the time will go back to being the time that you think it was all along. It's just we hit a couple weird weeks in the year when the rest of the world moves and we don't. So just to be clear.
No, good point there. So yeah, it will always be 2 p.m. Eastern time. But yeah, make sure to always keep track of daylight savings and all that stuff right there. But if you're here or you're registered for the series, you'll get a reminder each week so you don't forget. But if you can't make one, we'll have the recordings in the members area, usually within about a day of any of the calls, under the training tab on the left side navigation bar. So you click on the training, then you click on the Wednesday calls, and you'll see them all right there with the most recent ones at the very top. And there's also a search bar where you can search by keyword and stuff to pull up any kind of training relevant to you. So if there's a topic of interest to you, you might want to first search there, because chances are we probably have a call or several calls on just that. And if you want a chance to win $100 today, make sure to join our free Webfire Facebook group at getwebfire.com/FB group. That will forward you to the Facebook page right there. Just click the join button. It is free. And if you're not already in that group there, Sharon will approve you probably within a minute or 2 if you do so right now. And if you do that, towards the end of this call, you'll have a chance to win $100 live. So we'll actually do a live drawing at the end of the call, but you have to be a member of that free group right now. Now let's move on to our training for this week, where we'll reveal 3 cool techniques you can do to make money online. So for the overview, I'll share what those 3 specific new techniques are. Then I'll give some actual examples, like some live examples where I can show you, what that might look like on an actual site and whatnot, kind of hands-on stuff. Then we'll have a Q&A, and we'll follow it up with the cash giveaway. So moving on. Technique number 1 is what I call profits from questions. So this is a little different than some prior stuff I talked about, but kind of along the same lines. It's when people are about to buy anything online, especially higher price stuff, they typically do a lot of research. Part of that research often includes looking for answers to questions they might have about a specific product or a type of product. Although some questions can lead directly to easy affiliate or sales link placements like, where's a good place to buy X online? Most questions typically are more like, what's the difference between an LED and an OLED TV? Sometimes they're not even questions. Like sometimes it might be more like, comparison of iPhone XR to XS or iPhone XR versus XS. So it might not necessarily be a question, but if someone trying to do some research or asking a question, such like that. So usually it's a question or some kind of a comparison type term right there. But almost everyone, probably including all of you, at some point in time when you're looking to buy, especially more expensive stuff, you're doing some research online or trying to see, hey, what might be the best fit for you. So some other examples besides just the one I gave of what's the difference between an LED and an OLED TV. Some other examples might be, how much larger does a 1 carat diamond look from a 0.9 carat oval diamond? Now keep in mind with that, and I only gave that example because one of the first things I did as an affiliate online, like a long time back, was I was an affiliate for several of the top diamond sites. Now keep in mind, when we say, how much larger is a 1 carat versus a 0.9 carat oval diamond, you can replace oval with round, with princess, or probably like 10 other kinds of styles or cuts. Or it might even be a term like someone might search for size comparisons for oval diamonds or whatever style diamonds right there. So there's literally dozens and dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of terms related to basically people looking for, how much larger, smaller does this carat size look compared to that? And it's a legitimate question that a lot of people, when they're looking to buy a diamond online, probably have and probably search for. Now, it doesn't just have to be the size. I mean, even on a diamond alone, people might say, well, what is the major difference between an SI1 versus an SI2 clarity diamond? Or, literally thousands of questions related to just that topic right there that people want answers to. Or to give an example completely outside of that, people might say, what is the difference between a 50cc and a 150cc moped engine? Or to give a tennis example, because I play tennis, people might ask, what is the difference between natural gut, synthetic gut, poly, and nylon tennis strings? So that's the kind of thing, especially if you don't know the stuff. Like even a lot of intermediate and even some advanced players don't really know the differences there. So when their string breaks or they're looking to restring their racket, and they're basically told, hey, what kind of string do you want? A lot of them, don't know. Or if they're looking to buy some online, they're like, man, there's all these choices. I don't know what's what. So they almost always will do some research to try to get some more answers there. Now, these are great examples where you can do a quick article or a quick video where you can basically target the question or the phrase in the title and give a clear answer. And again, it doesn't have to be tough. You don't have to write a novel on, what is the difference between a natural gut and a synthetic or poly, and yada, yada, yada. You just need to have the basics there. Again, people don't want to spend 2 hours reading up on all the technicalities of the different tennis strings. They just want to know, hey, which one lasts longer, which one's better on the elbow, which one has more or less power, more or less spin, what do the pros use? I mean, all sorts of stuff, like that right there. Or on the diamond side, literally, it could be just showing, several diamonds side by side, like, hey, here's a 1 carat diamond, here's a 0.9, here's a 0.8, here's a 0.7, and just showing it on your finger, that can be super, super useful. And showing it side by side, that's all it has to really take right there. And, on top of, on top of simply answering the questions in a short, clear way, you can also give extra tips that could lead, to your affiliate offer or sales link. The key is to not be spammy and to come off as super helpful. If it's a blog post, you can write this directly in the post. But if it's a video, you can mention that you have a link in the description to basically direct them to. Like you can say, hey, to get like a discount or to find the best deal here, I gave you a link in the description that you should check out. So here's a few examples of specifically like what you could say to try to essentially drive traffic to your affiliate offer. So using the diamond example, you could say, hey, here's what a 0.9 carat oval diamond looks like compared to a 1.0 carat oval diamond. There's not much of a difference between the two, but offline retailers might charge $7,000 for a 1 carat compared to $5,500 for a 0.9 carat. However, if you go online, you can get better deals like a site I highly recommend. I put a link in the description below. At that site, the same 1 carat diamond would go for about $4,800 instead of $7,000, while the 0.9 carat would go for $3,900 instead of $5,500. So right there, the people came to get an answer to, hey, how does a 0.9 carat look compared to a 1 carat? Or they may have just gone to look for like, what are the size comparisons for an oval diamond, or what do the different carat sizes look like, any term like that. So they came to get an answer for that. But realistically, if they're looking for the answer to what the size differences look like, they're probably what? They're probably looking to buy one. No one wakes up and says, man, I'm super curious what the difference in sizes look like, so I'm going to research that for no apparent reason at all. 95% are probably in the market to buy. So knowing that, that if you could maybe give them a special deal or give them some additional info, if you could work that in there, which you basically did right here, everyone says, oh, wow, that's like $2,000 off right there. I'm going to check out that link. And you can get a lot of affiliate sales that way, especially knowing that, if they're going after like a $5,000 diamond, that's a decent affiliate cut right there for you. Or to give the example on the tennis side, you could answer basically a question like this. Natural gut strings tend to be more powerful, easier on the elbows, and they can hold their tension the longest. However, they're very susceptible to rain or water. You can't get them wet, and they can be a bit less durable for hard hitters compared to poly strings, which tend to lose tension faster, play far less powerful, grip the ball a bit better for better spin, and are harder on the elbows. Natural gut can be far more costly though, usually 3 times or more the price of poly. A sports store might charge you $60 just for the natural gut strings and $25 for the poly strings. However, you can get them at a decent discount from a tennis site that I put the link to in the description. You can get natural gut there for more like $30 to $40 instead of $60, while poly strings you can get for $10 to $17 instead of $25. So if you were doing like a video, you could mention that you put the description, or that you put the link in the description. Now, if this was actually like a blog post instead, obviously you just put the link right smack there and say, whereas this site right here, and put that link right there, make it super, super obvious. That's what you do right there. So as you can see, like no one would say, if I gave those answers, no one would say, oh, I came here for an answer to this question and this dude's just trying to sell me stuff. Instead, they'll say, oh, I came here for an answer to the question. I got that answered, and relevant to the answer, I even got some very useful advice on how to save on the answer that they're looking for. And that can go a really long ways. Whether you just want to be an affiliate, whether you want to do this for your own products or services or whatever it might be, you can do this for like any kind of product or service out there. Just again, brainstorm all the questions and all the things people might search for, and just clearly and easily answer them. But again, like work in to like how they could save more, how some offer or whatever might be a pretty good deal for them right there. So here's some extra tips. If you use affiliate links, don't make them look like affiliate links, like those really long ones. Use redirects, or shorten links. Also, make sure to clearly give them a reason to go to the link. Like, for instance, in the examples I gave, it was like, hey, it's cheaper by X amount of money here compared to there. Or you could say, hey, here's the one with the most happy clients I've seen, or the best testimonials I've seen, or anything like that, where you have to give them a reason. Don't just say, this site sells them here, because everyone will say, oh, I'll just buy it off of Amazon or wherever it might be. You want to give them a specific reason to go to that link. And you want to make the link easy to see and stand out in the description if you do a video, or within the post, or within the blog post itself if you're making a blog post. So don't try to hide it. Don't try to make it be the same color as the rest of the text. Make it clearly pop out. So moving on to technique number 2 is what I call review summaries. So one of the easiest ways to make affiliate income is to write reviews. Typically, oh, and by the way, guys, after I go through these 3 things, I'll actually show examples of them online of each of these 3. So don't worry about that right there. But moving on to technique 2, again, it's review summaries. So one of the easiest ways to make affiliate income is to write reviews. I know a lot of people like to do that. Typically, a good review will have a short intro, basically talking about the product, a pros and cons list, a short summary, and a conclusion with an obvious call to action, which of course would be your affiliate link. It's best to target affiliate offers that either pay you higher commissions or reoccurring commissions, and ones that are also popular and sought after, because there's no point if no one searches or ever buys a specific product. Like if you're doing a review of a product that no one ever buys or searches for, you're probably not going to make any sales if no one's buying it at all. So make sure it's a popular one, or one that at least gets some sales or has a market. However, the biggest obstacle that better, more expensive products can run into is that affiliates don't necessarily have the product or the money to buy them all if they're doing a lot of reviews. That's probably one of the biggest things I hear from people. They say, okay, I love the stuff that you talk about with affiliate reviews and yada yada, but I don't own that, and I don't have the money to buy $2,000 TV and compare it to like a $3,000 one, which obviously is understandable, right? I hear that a lot from guys, and that's all fine. And I'm not suggesting you do that. In fact, I would encourage you not to, because this is where this trick works really well. So to basically combat this, you don't have to even own the product yourself if you do this trick. In fact, not only will this work well and you won't have to buy anything, but you can even admit it and people will love you for it. How? By saying that you're writing or creating a video on, ideally both, a summary of all the reviews out there with all the general pros and cons, followed by your own thoughts or conclusion with an obvious call to action. People love it when they have less work to do and you summarize up all the reviews in one area, because it does just that. It saves a lot of their time, and they're more likely to trust your summary than everything else out there. For instance, like, if you look up reviews of almost anything, I mean, it can be the best product in the world and you'll get some guys that will completely trash it. Likewise, it can be the worst product in the world and you'll get some that will completely praise it, looking to make an affiliate buck. So it's like, if you're reading or you're researching reviews, you'll see one guy that goes, oh, this new LED TV is absolutely awesome. It rocks. Best TV ever. 5 out of 5 stars. Then the next guy will just say 1 out of 5 stars. This TV sucks. Then another guy will say like 3 or 4 out of 5 stars, and he'll give some reasoning of what he likes or doesn't like. And there might be hundreds of reviews, and to a person that's doing this research, they're like, oh great, this guy really likes it. I'm going to get this. Oh, wait. This guy says it's crap. Don't buy. Oh, wait. Here's a guy that's kind of in the middle. Oh, wait. I'm kind of lost right now. I don't know what to do. And there might be hundreds of reviews, and they get a bit lost. So if they basically come across like a summary that sums up where you basically admit, hey, out of all the reviews out there, here's what people tend to like and what they tend to dislike. And then after that, you give kind of your overall opinion of it. That can work really, really well. So how do you summarize them all up? Well, easy. Simple, in the intro, just say that you're summarizing up all the common pros and cons out there. List those out, and then give your overall impression of it all, and say what you see as the clear winner. And on top of that too, what you can also do is, if there's like a con out there that you don't think is a really big con, someone else might, but if you don't, you can say why you don't think that's a huge deal. For instance, if you're buying a TV, someone might say, oh, this is 2 out of 5 stars because it doesn't have some like super special like sound system in it that 99% of the market probably doesn't have or care about. Like if it does not work with like a super special sound system, 99% of the market might not care, but someone may have given it a bad review, and people might get the impression, oh, are you saying it has bad sound? When really it might not. So you can say, hey, some of the reviews out there tend not to like the sound because they say it won't work with the latest and greatest, speakers, systems, and whatnot. But the built-in speakers and sound on the TV itself are quite good and better than the majority of TVs, from the past few years, and yada yada. So even though some say that's a con, personally, I don't think 99% of people would even care or ever notice that. So that's the kind of thing where if someone's like worried about a bad review, they read your reasoning and they're like, oh wait, I guess I really don't care about that. So I guess this is a good deal. So I guess I should buy this. So this can work for product reviews, product comparison reviews, like, Get Response versus Aweber, iPhone XR versus iPhone XS, so on and so forth. Another tip here is that you'll want to do the keyword research and have the proper titles and tags, because that will make a major difference in your ranking. So the keywords and stuff that you're trying to go for, the review type terms, you still want to do the research. You still want to go for ones that aren't necessarily as competitive, especially if you're trying to rank on Google. And that can make a major difference depending upon what you target. And that's where a good keyword tool like the one in Webfire can help a great deal right there. Another tip is that you want to make both a blog post and a video to double your chances of getting lots of traffic and sales. And of course, you want to put the redirect or the shortened links in the description for the videos as well right there. So if you make both, it's not that hard, because once you do one, a video of it, you're almost repeating the exact same stuff, just in like a video. And you can have it be in like basically a PowerPoint type style. You can have it be some images of the products and you just talk. It's whatever you feel most comfortable doing. You can even turn an article into a video with the Video Firestorm tool inside of Webfire, but that's all up to you, what you'd like to do right there. But I'd say if you go for both, super easy. It's like half the time to do the second one, and it really increases your chances of at least one of those getting some traffic and some sales and such there. Now, the next technique or trick is what I call the level up existing services or offers. So if you want to sell services or have your own offers for top dollar without all the hard work, you're not alone. I get a ton of guys to say, hey, I want to sell this, but I don't want to do the work with it. So the trick I'm about to share with you right here can work great for you with only a minimal amount of work. So if you're looking to sell a service like SEO, video making, logo design, web page design, or virtually anything else, not only can you obviously do the work yourself or simplify it using automated tools like Webfire, where obviously you'd be in complete control of that, but you can also look for existing service providers that are selling cheap services without great pitches, or maybe lacking something else that is stopping them from basically charging a lot more. The key is to find service providers that basically provide a good service, have lots of social proof or testimonials, but either don't have a good sales pitch of their own or just don't charge much. For instance, maybe they have an SEO service, but instead of talking about how they increase rankings, they're talking about technical mumbo jumbo that 95% of their target market doesn't understand. For instance, if you're selling like an SEO service, instead of simply saying you'll help websites rank on page 1 of Google or towards the top of page one of Google, a lot of guys will say stuff like, I'll get you X amount of backlinks. I'll change your title tags around. I'll do this. I'll do that. And the average guy, I mean, you guys know a lot more about the stuff than the average guy, but the average business owner will say, what's a tag? What's a title tag? Wait, what's a schema? What's SEO mean? And they'll say, oh, I don't need that because I don't think I need to change any tags. And because they don't equate that to, getting them ranked. A lot of them won't even know what like a backlink is or anything. And, so it's like if you have to use the everyday language of the people. And sometimes just by simplifying the sales message, you can get a lot more sales and you can charge more because you're speaking the language of the people. So that's, or like people that are, let's say, looking to have like a video made. Like let's say someone's searching to have like one of those cool like whiteboard videos made, like the one where a person draws on like a whiteboard, so on and so forth. A lot of people won't know that's called a whiteboard video. Someone might say, they might say it's, they might think it's like an animated video, or they might just think it's, a cartoon video. I mean, there's lots of stuff that they won't know what to really say necessarily. They won't know what they're called. So just by using the everyday language of the people, you can oftentimes attract more and appeal to a wider market. So you can find such service providers on sites like Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com, where there's lots of $5 offers. There's also lots of other offers there, but there's lots that start around $5. You can also search on marketing and web service related forums, on outsourcing sites, on classified sites like, Craigslist and stuff, so on and so forth. When you find one that has good social proof with happy clients, reach out to them and basically ask if you can use them to fulfill their service to your clients in a white label type deal. So what you basically mean is you say, hey, can I resell your services to my own clients or prospects under my own name, but use you to do all the work and pay you to do all that work as well? A lot of guys will say, sure, of course, because again, you're paying them the same or more. If you want them, if you want to pay them a bit more, that's fine too. You're paying them the same or more. There's zero reason why they wouldn't be okay with that. So you'll find them probably 9 out of 10, if not more, will say, oh yeah, sure, that's fine. Then you can also ask that if you use them, could you use their social proof and testimonials and such on your sales page? A lot of them will also probably say yes here, because again, as long as you're using them to do the work and paying them, you're showing their social proof, their testimonials and all that. They won't care because they're getting paid the same or more than they would anyway, without having to do the work to get the clients, which you're doing for them right there. Then you just create a better sales page or pitch and start marketing it, knowing that you have almost a hands-free service right now by just basically taking an existing offer and doing that. The more hands-free or done for you that you can make the offer for your prospects, the more money you can charge. So the more work you ask them to do, the less you can typically charge, and the less you'll get them excited to even make a sale there. So the more hands-free, the better there. And another tip along the same note, a $5 service can easily turn into a $100 service, while a $100 service can easily turn into a $1,000 one if you follow the above rule. For instance, there's ways where you can actually charge 10 to 100 times more, and increase your value and profits along the same way. So instead of just selling like an article writing service for $5, doing almost the same amount of work, I mean a bit more, but almost the same, you could take that article, you could optimize it for SEO, which basically just means having like the keyword in the title and such, and you could maybe create a simple blog for them, knowing that on blogger.com you can make a blog in minutes, or you can outsource it on a site like Fiverr for $5 and get a nice blog made, even with like a custom graphic, and you can automatically post those articles for them on that blog, and you can do some SEO there, where basically for maybe taking like a half hour to let's say instead of taking a half hour to make an article, you take 1 hour to do like the whole site and all that right there, which again, it's not really you taking that time, it's the other workers. You can go from basically charging $5 to $10 to charging maybe upwards of like $1,000, and people will be more excited about the $1,000 deal because they just got a custom website with custom content and optimized and all that right there. Sounds far more appealing than just being handed a simple article that they have to post themselves and do all this other stuff. Or if you have a service where instead of writing an article, you say, hey, each week or each day or twice a week, you'll have an article written and you'll post it on their blog, you'll post it on Facebook and Twitter, and you'll do all that stuff right there. That sounds hands-free, sounds pretty cool. For a few $100 a month, that sounds like a steal of a deal. Your raw cost might only be $20 or $25, and it's almost hands-free work. But to the actual buyer, that sounds like an awesome deal. Like hands-free, they can put their social media on autopilot, they can put their blog on autopilot, they can start to get some rankings and traffic and some exposure. That's a sweet deal for several $100, even upwards of like $1,000 a month, for something that doesn't really cost you a ton. Like there's lots of people that do the basic service of writing or posting and all that right there. Then you can rinse and repeat, and you'll have lots of amazing offers, all hands-free, because once you make one, it's pretty easy to make a lot of others. Then once you have one, instead of just selling them yourselves, you can actually go out and seek other partners to kind of do white label deals with them. Because if you have a margin that's like 90%, if you like shared, half the cost of the service with a white label provider, they'll walk away extremely happy knowing that they won't have to do any work, and all they have to do is promote your offer, and you walk away happy knowing that you still have awesome margins left over there without having to do a lot of work right there. So again, keep that in mind. This is a great way, and again, once you do this once, you can rinse and repeat over and over and over again. So I'm just going to pause the screen for a moment here as I'll show some live examples of some of the three things that I talked about right there. All right. All right, so one of the first examples, I talked about trying to answer questions and such, and here is a great one right here. So, and I gave this example here because one of the first things I did online was I was an affiliate for diamonds. So I did a bunch of stuff right here, and I found a great example of one where if you're looking for an oval diamond size comparison, so basically an oval diamond is a shape of a diamond, and there's tons of different shapes, so you can do this for almost any of them. This is a video that shows off different sizes kind of side by side to give you an idea of what's what. And this one's a little more fancy in that they actually have the diamonds. You can also just do like a picture of it and you'd be fine. You can find tons of pictures online. You want to make sure that you have permission to use them, or do the Google search tool. There's actually a way where you can search for basically images that you have permission to use. In fact, I'll show that off in just a bit right here. But this is the part that I want to show off. So I did a fast forward a bit right here, and he actually refers to the link several times, but this is one that makes it crystal clear. So all the video is showing off the different like sizes looking side by side, but I want to show how he works in mention his affiliate link here. So I'm going to turn up the volume a bit. Hopefully you can hear what he says right here.
Diamonds. All brick and mortar jewelry stores sell diamonds at an inflated rate. It costs money to pay for their rent and their salespeople, which all inflate the cost of your diamond. My biggest tip when buying a diamond is to have your significant other go diamond shopping at the mall with you or her best friend. Then make note of the diamond specs that she chose. After, come back and buy the exact same quality diamond from the link below this video, and you'll save a ton of money. Or you can spend the same amount of money that you would have spent at the other diamond store and get an even bigger diamond. That will definitely improve.
So you see right there, he's showing off the different size comparisons and all that, but you see how he worked in mentioning how, hey, you can save a ton if you buy online instead of offline, and he mentions his link, and if you scroll down, you can see his link is right here. He says, hey, see my link in the description. And here's one right here. And there's actually two different links that he mentions. One is like the store link, which is right here. And another one is like how to find like a good cut grade and stuff, which he gives a link right there, which I think both are affiliate links right there. So it's like pretty cool way to kind of work that in, and super useful. And again, not that complicated of a video. And again, even just having like a simple picture would work well. And here's what I want to also show you right here. So this is a simple video just showing stuff side by side. But if you look at it, look at what the comments are. They're basically saying, I love this. Can you make another one for the emerald cut? Can you make one for the marquise cut? Can you make, this or that? Again, pretty cool stuff. You can see again how easy it would be to kind of whip out, like a bunch of these fairly fast for almost any topic. So keep that in mind right there. And just to actually, I'm going to pause the screen for a second as I answer the question right here. So if there's images that you're trying to look for, there is a trick that you can do. I just want to double check this really quick right here. So if you go, let me see here. Okay, here it is. All right. So if you go to the Google search, what you can do is you can do like we can just search for diamond size on finger. Oh, I accidentally paused it right there. So you do diamond sizes on finger, and then instead of clicking on the search, you click on the images. Oops, never mind. Actually, I'm already in the images search. But instead of having all you click on images, so when you do the search, you click on images, and then what you can do is, you can't just grab any image online because of like copyright issues and all that. What you can do is if you click on tools and, oh yeah, then you go to the usage rights, and then you want to make sure that you can pick ones that you can either reuse or ones that you can reuse with modification, which means you have to change something on it. So we could just say labeled for reuse right there. And you'll see a bunch of images that are such right there. Now, you have to go through and kind of filter through these, and depending upon what you're basically doing, you can if you're trying to sell stuff, you'd want the normal reuse. If like you're non-commercial and stuff, you can of course there's sometimes more options right there and stuff. But yeah, you can go through and find lots of images that you can use right there. You can also go to image sites and stuff, but you can also, what I've done that works well too is you can go to, like, let's say you're an affiliate of a diamond site. You can go to the diamond site, which oftentimes has the images of different sizes and stuff, and you can bluntly ask them, say, hey, I'm an affiliate of yours. I'm trying to make a video showing off different sizes. I mention you, in the video. Is it okay if I use your image in my video showing off the different sizes? I've always had them say, sure. Sometimes they have to check with like their department or whatever, but most of the time they're just like, sure, because again, they don't really care as long as you're not trying to rip them off and, like, use their image, but then try to send, prospects to another site. They probably wouldn't like that right there. So yeah, so that's one thing that you can do right there. And again, this can work for any kind of video. So the next thing that you can do, and of course, this can also be a blog post too. Like, you could have a blog post where you show, basically like an image, or you can just explain what the difference is. It doesn't have to be fancy. In fact, you don't even have to use images. It's just, in this case, because it's people looking for what the size of a diamond looks like on a hand, it's useful to have an image. If it was like, what is the difference between a natural gut and a polystyrene in tennis, you probably wouldn't have to have an image then. You could just have text. That'd be like super, super easy right there, and a much even easier video to make. Now, moving on to the summary reviews, I want to show off just a few reviews of the same kind of TV. So I picked the TCL TV right here, just to give you an idea of like what I like and don't like about a lot of the reviews out there. Like, one, here's more of like a comparison one where it has like a bunch of different models. You see, like right here it says check price. That would be their affiliate link. And I love how, they say, hey, this is the best of the best, and this is the best bang for your buck. Because if you give them too many choices, oftentimes people get lost and they won't buy because they're like, crap, I don't know which one to get now. Whereas if you label it out like, hey, this is the best bang for your buck, and this is the best of the best, they'll typically go to one of those two right there. Or if you were to say, in the case of a TV, hey, this is the best one for gaming, and this is the best one for movies, that's another option you could do right there. I also like how, they have the pros and the cons here. I oftentimes like to list it off in like a bullet point, and they also have a bottom line, which is almost like a summary. And you can see right here, they looked at like a bunch of consumer reviews, because they said there's 74. So that's basically, they just read other reviews out there too. Now they may have done some stuff themselves, but pretty cool and easy then. And you can see they have their affiliate link. Now I'd make it a little more obvious. Like, not only would I have the links there, throughout the article, I'd say, hey, or at the very end, I'd say, hey, to get the best deal, here's a site that I found that has the best deal on these right now. Here's another kind of review right here, just to give you an idea. Here's one, again, pretty simple, has a short summary right here, has a quick list of differences, has some pros and cons right here, and in this case, at the very end, you'd want to have an affiliate link. Like here, they don't do a good job of having like an obvious affiliate link, even though I'm sure that blue link right there, probably goes to some. But yeah, there's just another example. We see basically you'd want to have a summary, usually a list of pros and cons, and then a conclusion. So yours could be like a lot easier than a lot of these right here. Or even right here, here's one that's laid out like super easy, like, hey, it's reviewing a certain TV. They have the price. They have a link where you can basically get it. They don't make it terribly obvious. I would like have like an arrow and stuff to make it stand out or pop a bit more. But they have the pros and the cons, so it's super easy. And you can see the overall rating very quickly and easily. You don't have to read a lot. People hate to have to read like 20 pages of stuff. But if you want to scroll down, you see they have some more info and stuff where you can get all that info right there. But that's almost more than most of you would have to even do. They have a call to action at the very bottom, but I would almost say, hey, click here to grab the best deal that we found on this TV currently, and have it be like big blue, underlined link right there where a person can go to the TV right then. And then, again, if you do a summary review, just like list out what the common, pros and cons are, and then say, if you think a con really isn't a big deal, say that in the conclusion, or, be basically blunt about that and clearly say, hey, if you're looking for a TV that's a great deal, works well with gaming, works well with watching videos, and is comparable to $2,000 models, this is your best bet right here, unless you want to spend like $2,000 or $3,000 more and get one like this right here. And that's a pretty good, solid piece of advice right there. So move on to the last one, which was the tip we gave about how to look for services and stuff being sold and kind of turn them into your own. One of the sites that you can find those on is Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. In this case, I went there, and in the search field, I typed in Shopify SEO. So let's say you're an internet marketer and you have a list, and let's say the niche that you're in is Shopify, okay? And you have a lot of Shopify clients, and you say, hey, what else can I sell to my Shopify clients? Now, you can do this for anything. You can look up general SEO stuff. You can look up video making. I mean, whatever you want. I mean, WordPress SEO, whatever. This is just the first thing that popped to my mind. You can say, hey, a lot of clients often are looking for help with SEO on their Shopify site. So that might be a service you want to make. So you would type in a term like Shopify SEO right here. You'd find a lot of sites here, or a lot of offers, I should say, here. And you want to find one that is rated high with a lot of reviews, but is a essentially decent price. Like here, we get one that has 50 reviews, 5 out of 5 stars, only $5 right here. Here's one that's 4.9, but 378. So both these are quite good right there. Any of these are fine. I'll just click the first one. And you want to look for, reviews, which, they all look good right here. And you want to see like what he clearly does. So it looks like there's a bunch of things that he'll do right there for you. And then you can say, hey, that's a package that maybe a lot of your guys would like, and he only charges $5. Maybe you could charge 50 or 100, and people would, again, love that, because he probably doesn't do a good job of reaching out specifically to Shopify users. And you can see there's like a premium package right there where he offers it for 40. You could probably sell it easily for like $300, if not more, and people would love you, because like someone that's looking for a specific package, like if you have a lot of Shopify users, oftentimes they'll spend tons of time saying, oh crap, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do to change the SEO, I don't know any of this. And if you offer them a solution, you bring them an offer, make it clear, saying, hey, Shopify is a great site, it's a great way to get your own products and stuff online, but they typically suck in terms of SEO. Here's why. Here's a service that can help you solve all that by basically taking care of all the stuff that you should be doing, but Shopify makes really hard to do. That's the kind of thing that, if you sold that for $297, people might absolutely love that. And you're basically making, $260 pure profit in that case right here. And this is, again, up to 50 pages. So like a lot of people would say, wow, to fix that on a 50-page site, $297 is an absolute steal. It might even be worth, 2 times that, if not more, or 3 times in a lot of cases right there. So you could take a service like this, reach out to that guy, see if you could use some of his testimonials and stuff, and kind of turn it into your own white label option, as long as you use him as the provider. Most of them will, of course, say yes right there, and you have your own service, hands-free. Then you can turn around and say, well, let's look into some other stuff, like maybe an animated video where you can find a guy that might make one for like, $50 or $25 that you could turn around and sell for $500, and kind of do the same thing, rinse and repeat, or look for like a general SEO service, or even use Webfire, because again, it does a lot of the work for you right there. So any of those can work well, but you can create your own little services, and kind of use the existing testimonials and social proof and all that to kind of get a jump start right there, and just make your own offer or your own sales page right there. And then even look to see how you could even, white label your new offer with other larger providers and make even more, basically hands-free. So with that, we'll move on to the Q&A. We have just a few moments right here, but while we do that, make sure that you go to right now, getwebfire.com /FB pages. That will forward you to our Facebook group. And if you're not a free member, just click join, and Sharon will probably instantly approve of you. Again, that's just getwebfire.com /FB group. And you'll forward to this page right here. And you'll see a post from Sharon right here. So you scroll down a bit, you'll see it from 42 minutes ago, where she basically asked what you thought of today's call. If you leave a comment, just click on the comment right here. If you leave a comment within this post right here, so try not to post outside in another one or anything like that. I see there's a few of you that are posting outside of that, including one they're posting in 2016. I don't know how that happened there. Make sure you post in the one from an hour ago right here, instead of the 2016 one. All right. And within about maybe a couple minutes or so, we'll pick a random winner. We'll basically go to random.org. We'll enter in the number of comments, and we'll pick a random winner. So with that, Sean, have you seen any questions or anything like that? In the meantime, we'll start to go through those now, if there's any that.
Well, we just had somebody asked, I'm helping a nonprofit company get launched. Any other quick tips?
That's pretty general. It depends. I mean, without really knowing a lot more, it's kind of like saying, what would you do for my business without knowing what the business is? So it's a bit hard to say. But first, depending upon what the niche is or what the topic it is, I mean, there's stuff that you can do to kind of fix up their site to help get them rankings. But especially for like non-profit type stuff, I think it's important to have a social media presence, where you can do some stories and turn those into like social media posts and stuff to try to get some traction, get some shares and stuff. Like, again, without knowing what kind of nonprofit it is, it's really hard to say. But like, let's say you're like a nonprofit that works with rehabilitating, I don't know, injured animals or something like that. If you did a social media post talking about a specific story you had, followed up with ways that they can help or donate and stuff, and encourage guys to share, that can be a way to kind of get a little traction and stuff right there. Or you could also reach out to other businesses and leads and stuff that, again, you could use like Webfire's lead tools and stuff to try to find maybe related businesses that could be interested in donating or helping out in one way or another, or sponsoring some stuff. So there's lots of little things that you can do, but without basically knowing more specifically, it'd be hard to dive into specifics there. So anything else, Sean?
Let's see. I pretty much answered everybody else. The only other question was, Russ asked if you could demo how to look for questions, and I didn't catch if you actually did that or you were just showing the video and the question answer example.
So there's a few things that you can do. First is, I'd say, any niche that you're in, try to just brainstorm. Like, don't overthink. Like, if you're in the diamond niche, I mean, what are the questions that people would have? They probably have questions on the clarity, questions on the size and how it looks. They might have questions on, you know, if the polish and the symmetry really matter. And then once you basically brainstorm this huge list of questions, there's a few things that you can do. One, you can use a keyword tool like one inside a Webfire and just, you know, basically type in any of the questions or even the broad topic. But if you know if you type in the questions that can get related questions, you can also just go on Google and start to type in a question, and it will kind of pre-fill out you know, other related questions that people might have. So I'll show an example. So just trying to find a good example here really quick. So like right here, here's one where I just did a search right here where similar to the example I gave, I just said size of oval diamond, where you see lots of people are asking like actual size of a 1 carat oval diamond. You know, it might you could also do like for instance, you know, in like the moped example. Well, here I'll do a new one right there. Like right here, if we were looking at like a moped engine or like a go-kart, you know, engine, you know, I typed in difference between 50 cc, which is a type of an engine, and look at all the different examples there. It could be 150 cc, could be 80, could be 125, could be 90. I mean, look at all the different examples right there. I mean, that's basically like 10 different questions that you could do just based on that. Or you could even have a general one, say in like differences between moped engines like 50 cc, 100 cc, 150 cc, and you know, blah blah, and just list it out all like that right there. Then you could go and use a keyword tool like the one inside of Webfire and just see what other keywords it suggests, and then look to see how competitive those are. A lot of the question type terms won't be all that competitive. Sometimes like they won't necessarily get a ton of traffic, because it might not get like thousands and thousands of thousands, but that doesn't really matter as much because they're such a good buyer. They're still ones to go after. Like you saw right here in the oval diamond example, this one right here, it was published only several months back. You see it was done in April, and it has only about 21,000 views. That's not necessarily a ton, but there are people looking to buy diamond. That's, you know, about 21,000 people. That's about let's see. So that's about six months or so, right there. So that's, you know, roughly about 3,000 plus views a month right there. So not necessarily like one that gets like hundreds of thousands or millions, but that's 3,000 people a month that are looking to buy a diamond. That, you know, you could get a cut of by being an affiliate. But yeah, I'd say first just kind of brainstorm, do a little research. You can also search like using the Q&A tool inside of Webfire just to see what kind of questions people might be asking. You can also search on forums and stuff, just see what people are basically asking out there. I mean, even by like going to like a diamond forum or like a tennis forum or like a forum on TVs to basically cover the three examples I gave. Just see what kind of questions people are asking over and over and over and over again, and then try to kind of pick a handful of those and just make basically a blog post and like a video on those right there. So don't overthink that too much. Anything else, Sean, or should we get some cash away?
No, I think we're good. Let's give it away.
All right, I'm just going to refresh this page really quick right here. All right, let's see. All right, here's the post. All right. All right, there's a couple that posted outside. I will count. Looking for another one, so I'll count these three right here just because. 3, 4, 4 plus, well, 5 plus 32. So 37 in total. So who is the winner, Sean? Do you think 1 to 37? What's your best guess on who it will be?
37.
All right, we'll see. Clicking on generate.
37.
32. So that's not too far. Which would be the last guy right here, because it's there's 32 that left a comment in the main area right there, and that would be Adelaide Fisk or Fisky. Oh, and look at that. They live in my city too. How ironic is that? So Adelaide,
Well, yes, so they come to your house and pick up the cash?
So Adelaide, if this is you or looks like you and you're from Madison, congratulations for living in Madison. And secondly, congratulations for being $100 richer, or you will be as soon as you post up your PayPal email in the chat box to Sharon. So just post that in the chat box right now, what your PayPal email is, and Sharon will get you that this afternoon, or basically as soon as she gets your email. So again, congratulations to Adelaide for being this week's Wednesday Marketing Webinar winner and winning $100. So congrats again. And again, guys, if you have any questions or anything like that, you can feel free to reach us at support@webfire.com, or just use the help desk inside the members area. And as always, we have these calls every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Make sure, again, as Sean said, to watch like the daylight savings and stuff like that, especially if you're from outside of the U.S., where the time zones sometimes change a little, or the daylight savings change a bit around now. And to everyone else, happy Halloween as well right there. So I'm sure Sean's house is completely done up for that, because I know I think that's your wife's favorite holiday, right?
It is. It is. Besides our anniversary, of course. But
Okay.
yes. We started early and we celebrate often. Yep.
So again, happy Halloween to everyone right there. Hopefully it all goes well. Yeah, so have a great rest of the week, guys. And as always, if there's any questions or anything we missed, feel free to write support@webfire.com, or mention anything in the Facebook group right here. Or if there's a topic of interest to you that you'd like to see on a future call, let us know. We're always looking for suggestions and stuff too. So once again, guys, hope you have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you later. Take care.